Chester Engineers kicked off its CEO Leadership Series in association with the African American Institute, featuring Robert Benmosche of American International Group as the keynote speaker. The event was held at the Chester Engineers World Headquarters, located in Moon, Pennsylvania on October 14, 2013. Mr. Benmosche shared his leadership philosophy to the group of business executives and community leaders, and how he used it to transform AIG from the insurance company at the center of the 2008 financial crisis to a profitable company that paid back its $182 billion government bailout in full.
But how did it happen? And what are the steps we went through? And for me, coming in, as George just said, is you have to have a sense of what's possible. And you can't just listen to conventional thinking. If you recall, several senior members of the government, plus former chairman and CEO of this company, said AIG was gone. The name was forever tarnished, and that the company really has to be liquidated to pay back, hopefully, what it owes America. And that was in the mindset of all of the people of AIG. And so my challenge was to, first of all, understand this company is the largest insurance company in the world at the time. It didn't get there by accident. And it was clear to me as I understood the businesses were worth a lot of money. But nobody wants to touch something that is a problem. So it became clear to me we had to stop selling at fire sale prices, and we had to give people something to hope for. There was no hope. When you have 100,000 employees, 300,000 agents who come to work every day and have no hope, it's hard. It's hard to do that. And I said, if AIG fails, the insurance industry will take forever to recover. Nobody has any idea how big this company is and how many things it touches. Even today, going through this crisis, we have managed to retain most of our clients. We do business with 98% of the Fortune 500 in the United States. 98%. I think it's 97 or 96% of the Fortune 1000. And we do business with the Fortune 500 worldwide, 90%. That's how much we touch as a company. And you think about how you have that kind of success as a company, it's just one thing. It's people. People actually matter. And people need to have hope, and then they have to have a vision, and they have to believe that you believe in them and you will take care of them. And if you create that organization where people believe that and they have a sense of vision, it's amazing what they can accomplish.
The Leadership Series, created by Chester Chairman, CEO, and President Robert Benmosche, is aimed at fostering discussion among local companies and national business leaders, while also providing a platform for future leaders.
This was a transforming day for us here. You know, it's the beginning of a new day. Being able to have Bob Benmosche here, as you know, this is a man that's well sought after in our country for what he's done with AIG, which is one of the reasons why we invited him. And second is how he did it. But it couldn't have been possible without the goodwill of my chairman emeritus, George Mann, and which also speaks to why we're doing what we do, this leadership series, and subsequently the formation of a new organization to take it forward. It's been able to stand on the shoulders of others, like a George Miles, that is close enough to Bob Benmosche to invite him, and Bob saying yes. I thank God for that. I was able to do that through George. And which goes to speak as to why we're doing this leadership series. You know, not just to create a forum where we can learn about leadership of others, but also to create a forum whereby we can learn, you know, and be able to stand on the shoulders of others to propel us forward. So two things I learned from today, you know, from Bob's visit. One, he's not afraid to lead. You know, some folks like to mince words. And they don't like to, mince their words. You know where they stand. He's that kind of leader. He's a very decisive leader, very focused leader, very engaging leader, okay? A leader that also reminds me of the ultimate leader that left 99 sheep to go after one. And when Bob told the story that he had to leave New York to fly to Houston and leave the analysts, leave folks that really could make the difference in your life. If you run a publicly held company, analysts, they can make your life difficult. And he says, no, I have a commitment to these 30 people out of my 62,000 employees that I have to fulfill. That speaks volume to character of a person. That's the first thing I learned from him. The second thing I also learned, is it all starts from within. You got to get hold of your house first. You got to lead from within, and then it comes to the outside. It's not trying to bring so many people in. It's knowing how to work with what you have. And it allows you to attract others to come in. And I see that a lot, even as it comes to our region. Really nurturing the folks that we have, so people will now see opportunities because they've seen what we've done with people that we have. We will now become the magnet based on that. And I learned that from Bob today. And lastly, he says on this journey of changing and resurrecting AIG, which he's done successfully, being able to pay back, $182.3 billion with interest of another $20 billion on top of it in 2 years. He has to be commended. And while doing that, also making sure that he doesn't lose sight of diversity, and including people that don't look like him in that journey. That speaks a lot to character of a leader.
My view in life is to give back. I don't really, I've kind of said this a lot of times, even though I've been blessed. I've been blessed with a lot of things. And I've got more things in my life than I would thought I could ever. But I didn't start my life out to try to accumulate anything. My goal was to always figure out how to make things better, how to make a difference in people's lives. That's really and I guess because I'm 71 years old. I come from the generation that sat in North Carolina. I come from the I call it the Muhammad Ali. So the civil rights movement was my generation. My father's generation was the greatest generation. So my participation now in the movement, if you want to call it that, has always been, I said as an early young man at 1963, I'm going to go into corporate America, work my way up, and then make a difference out there. So that's all part of the kind of my vision as a young man at 21 years old. That's what I really wanted to do. Now, it manifests itself in a lot of ways. Today is a good example, but that's all part of what I've done. I spent time, at WQED, working with WQED, and for years. But that was really about trying to make a difference in the community. As a result of that, I've done very, very well. A lot of things have come my way, which I never expected. I wasn't anticipating. So as you build a relationship up with somebody, like a Bob Benmosche, or any of the CEOs that we've had in the series, including Keith Wandel, is because I've worked with them, they trust me, I trust them, and I want them also to share in some of the things I'm doing, and this is what this is about for me.
At the event, Mr. Agbade announced the creation and establishment of the African American Leadership Institute as part of the CEO Leadership Series, which he says will provide future generations of leaders with a platform to grow and connect with other distinguished leaders in the future.
Former chairman and chairman emeritus, and my good friend, my big brother, my mentor, George Miles. When we first started this CEO Leadership Series, over a year ago, again, it was inward looking. How do we engage our senior executive leadership of Chester as we go beyond Pittsburgh globally, culturally, and how to lead outside here? And within the first two series, we decided we need to open this thing up, because what we learn goes beyond just what we have here at Chester Engineers. And so George and I decided, okay, let's invite others within the community. And George has always been leading a group of mid-level African-American executives. Okay, even when he was here as president and CEO of WQED. So it was a natural fit for us to be able to use that list. And then we saw, as things developed, wait a minute, we get more and more people that want to come. Then the word got across the country too, to some parts, and they said, well, why don't we start this? Why don't we replicate what you have here? And so we now saw the need to really be able to engage this young, mid-level, senior level African-American professionals, and let them be able to give them a forum where they can pass on and meet others and share stories, leadership stories, how they've overcome some things. I was fortunate to have a George around me. Not everybody has that. And George touches a lot of people. He's, because of his position sitting on publicly traded boards. So he brings a wealth of experience that you just don't see on the street. So that also creates that kind of forum for those people. Hence, we decided a couple of months ago to start an organization called the African American Leadership Institute. Our goal is to be able to take Chester Engineers globally and other subsidiaries that we have, including Chester LNG, which is more into liquefying, natural gas, transportation of such, and the delivery of such, not just within the U.S. but internationally. Our goal is to be able to see whatever leadership we've developed here, being able to manifest itself in all that we do. Not just international, not just in the U.S., but across the globe where we work.
Chester will host their next CEO Leadership Series December 5th, 2013, featuring Harley-Davidson President and CEO Keith Wendell as the keynote speaker. You can learn more about Chester Engineers and the CEO Leadership Series by visiting chesterengineers.com.